What's up? What's up? What's up? Of course, it's me, your boy Richie Rich at Consumer Appliance Support. Shoot another awesome video, cause that's what we do. Man, what's up? What's up? You know, Consumer Appliance Support, we review appliances. Today, for this particular video, we're gonna focus on the Maytag Top-Load Wash Machine. It's a commercial grade machine that's used in the residential, so that means that you can use it in your home. It does have some commercial features, and we're gonna talk about that in the functions and features portion of the video. If you're new to the channel, you already know, man, we review appliances, washers, dryers, refrigerators, and we also break it down. And don't forget, man, as I help you and you help me, always remember, hit that like button and the subscribe button, man. And every time we shoot a video, we make sure that your alert is connected to your phone, and when we shoot a video, you'll be able to get those alerts, man, and you know exactly when those new videos come out. All right, so without further ado, let's dive into this joint real quick, man. So again, we're talking about this Maytag top-load wash machine. You can look at it. It's really old, man. It's old school, man. So you can see how it looks. Nothing special, nothing unique, no modern technology or anything like that, smart appliance, anything like that. So we're just gonna let this roll for a little bit so that we can go into the owner's manual. And of course, when you already know, man, we go inside the owner's manual to these appliances, breaking them down. A couple of things that we always focus on, of course, is the wash machine safety. All right, always want to make sure you use safety when you're using these appliances. Open up the owner's manual, make sure you read it, then you're able to use the appliance. Another thing that we could also focus on while we're here, always remember, use the HE high efficiency detergent for these appliances. It is a modern appliance, but it has a lot of old school feel to it. So that's the difference, man. I'm telling you, the way that it looks pretty ugly, but it might be a great appliance, man. So it might surprise you and myself once we finish the review. Again, another important safety tips, save these instructions. So a couple things we can focus on before we actually dive into the joint. The model and serial number on this particular unit is located right there on the plate, so you'll be able to see that. All right, you can actually write it down in the owner's manual, so you can always have record of it. If you do not have a model and serial number on any appliance that you purchase, I suggest, one, do not purchase it without it, because if it breaks, then you're not going to be able to fix it, because the repair guys or myself wouldn't be able to find any parts that's needed to repair your appliance. All right, so I know you can go to Scratch and Dents, you can go to these different spots, but always remember, make sure they have a model and serial number. All right, so let's rock. Let's get into it. The control panel. All right, so we can look at some of the features it might have. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit with my device here. Commercial, Maytag commercial. You got your instructions. Select cycle, select temperature, select options, and then of course you press start. All right, when you're talking about something simple and basic, this is what you get. All right, so a couple of the cycles with number one, where it says cycle wash cycle knob, you have your bulky / towels, you have your power wash, you have delicate, you got mixed, normal, rinse and spin, and drain and spin. But if you look where it says highlighted here, deep water, all right, so this is your traditional deep water fill. We're going to get into a lot of that as well, so we can explain that a little bit more, but I just wanted to just go over some of the basic stuff that you can see right in front of you. You got your temperatures, you got tap, cold, cool, warm, and hot. All right, you have your different options that you can select. You can have it turn the options off. You can have pre-soak, extra rinse, pre-soak, and extra rinse at the same time. All right, and that's your options. You do have your start button sitting here. Hold 3 seconds to cancel. All right, so if you want to cancel the middle of the cycle, you hold that for 3 seconds and then shut off. Then of course you have your status lights. All right, you got your fill, soak / wash, rinse, final spin, done. And then of course when your machine lid is locked, you can see that highlighted there. It says not all features and options are available in all models. Appearance may vary. All right, so just keep that in mind. So let's get into where it says the wash cycle knob. It says use the wash cycle knob to select cycles on your washer. Knob does not advance during the progress of the cycle. It says see cycle status lights for each stage of the process. All right, it says see cycle guide for detailed description of cycles, so we're going to go into that as well. All right, it says select the most suitable for your load. Items need to move freely. Tightly packing can lead to poor cleaning performance and may increase wrinkle and tangling. All right, so that's what you got to think about when you're loading your clothes inside the wash machine. This is something that we always express, to make sure that your clothes are loose, right? They're not dumped or tangled together, because it's difficult for the clothes to maneuver and move around while the agitator is operating. So they're not going to get clean as well. It's not going to perform properly, and it can cause your machine to be unbalanced. So you want to be careful how you load it. All right, you got your temperatures. All right, water temperatures. All right, this seems pretty simple. Temperature senses and maintains uniform water. The temperatures by regulating incoming hot and cold water. It says select a wash temperature based on the type of fabric and soil being washed. For best results and following the garment label instructions, use the warmest wash water safe for your fabric. Of course, you have your normal. All right, normal, you have your warm and hot water may be cooler than your previous washer. And that's one of the things with this, even though it looks old, it has some of the modern features on it, where your hot water is not as hot as it used to be like back in the day. It's a mixture of both hot and warm, hot and cold. So it's a little bit hotter than your warm, but it's not technically warm. All right, because again, they don't want to allow just a whole bunch of hot waters going in unless it specifically says that. Some might say very hot or extreme hot, something similar to that, to separate it from just a generic hot water that we're dealing with today. It says the deep water cycles will provide higher temperatures for the wash cycle. All right, so you want to be able to think about that as well. Even in a cold or cool water wash, some warm water may be added to the washer to maintain a minimum temperature. Again, even your cold water is not as cold. It's a mixture of a little bit of hot water on that as well, so you want to keep that in mind. You have different options that you can choose from. It says you may add or remove options for each cycle. Not all options can be used with all cycles, and some are preset to work with certain cycles. You have your extra rinse, right? Extra rinse, pre-soak, and extra rinse, and you have your pre-soak. It says extra rinse. This option can be used to automatically add a second rinse to most cycles. All right, so that's what it is, an extra rinse. Pretty simple. Use pre-soak and extra rinse. It says use this option to add both an extra soak period to any cycle and a second rinse to most cycles. All right, you got your pre-soak. It says use this option to add an extra soak period to any cycle to help loosen tough stains. The washer will agitate briefly, fill and pause to soak, then begin the selected cycle. All right, so you want to keep that in mind. Your start button, pretty straightforward. Press the start to select the option. To unlock the lid during a final spin, press to pause the cycle, press and hold for 3 seconds to cancel a cycle. Normally when your washing machine is operating, if it's spinning extremely fast, even though you might press the button and the lid light might continue to keep blinking, it might take a while for the door to open because of the speed of the washing machine. So the machine is smart enough to know the rotation of the speed so that you don't open the lid with the machine still spinning. All right, so it's just a safety function. You have your status light indicator, right? The cycle status light shows the progress of a cycle at each state of the process. It says you may notice sounds or pause that are different from traditional washers. You got your fill, so that's letting you know that it's filling, right? That's the LED that will illuminate. Your soak/wash. This LED remains illuminated during the soak/wash portion of the cycle. When your machine is rinsing, it says this LED remains illuminated during the rinse portion of the cycle. It says fabric softener can be added at this stage of the cycle. All right, so you can do that as well. It says final spin and lid lock. The final spin LED and the lid lock LED will both remain illuminated during this portion of the cycle. If you need to open the lid prior to cycle completion, press and hold start/pause for 3 seconds. Then of course when the cycle is finished, it's going to let you know that it's done because it's going to highlight or illuminate the done cycle. All right, so you'll be able to see that as well. All right, so pretty straightforward stuff with this particular appliance. We can actually get right back to a little bit of the video to see where we are. We talked about a lot of the options and the temperature and the cycle settings that you have. If you look, this is at the front portion of the washing machine. It says commercial strength in and out. It is durable. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, when we was in the store, man, it's an old field, so it's extremely heavy. It's not as lightly built like the new ones. It does have a lot of the newer features to it, but you want to also look at it. It is old, and like I said, it is ugly. All right, but we talk about the 4 deep fill water cycles that's graded. That has the blue section there that'll let you know that's the drench loads for deep cleaning. You have your dual action agitator on here. It says a half horsepower, 7 rib belts and premium bearings. So you do have a belt on here. Most top-load washing machines nowadays, they might have a belt on it. They still have, some of them still do, but it all depends on who makes it. You have the galvanized steel panels. It says quad gear transmission, transfers deep cleaning power to the basket. So you have all that stuff in there as well. All right, so let me see what else we can rock with this. Let this joint play. All right, so let's get into that. Let that rock for a second. So I lift up the lid, and normally on the lid you'll see where it has it here, cycle features, normal, power wash, bulky towels, delicates, and mixed. It says cycle selector, load size, water levels, load description. So it's going to tell you exactly the different settings that you might have to select, the water level and the sizes, and how it looks when it's being loaded, and the type of water level that you have. So again, you can get familiar with it and understand how the appliance works, because that's how it is. All right, so you want to do that. Let me go into the owner's manual a little bit to see what we got here. I wanted to, before we get into that and loading the appliance, really I wanted to still talk about this a little bit. It says select temperatures. All right, so we want to talk about the temperatures and the options just to give us a little bit more information. It says once you select a cycle, select the desired wash temperature by turning the temperature knob to the appropriate setting. Simple and easy, right? Temperature setting, when you're talking about hot, it says some cold water is added to save energy. So like we talked about there, this would be cooler than your hot water heating setting. All right, suggest fabrics, and that's one of the things I like about this appliance, how they're breaking down to certain fabrics that they feel as though should be washed in the hot water. You have your whites, durable garments, heavy soil, pastels. You also have warm. It says some cold water will be added, right? So this will be cooler than your previous washer provided. You have your bright colors, moderate to light soils. You also have cool, where it says warm water may be added to assist in soil removal and to help dissolve detergents. It says colors that bleed or fade or light soils. All right, so that's what it suggests in there. It says cold. It says this is the temperature from your faucet if your tap cold water is less than 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. Warm water will be added to assist in soil removal and help dissolve detergent. So your cold water is for like dog clothes, right, that bleed or fade or light soils. And then of course you have your tap cold. It says this is temperature from your faucet. So whatever temperature is from your faucet, nothing is added to it. It just goes directly to your machine. Dark colors that bleed or fade on light soils. All right, we talked about the options there as well. Selecting your different options. You have your start button there. So you'll be able to look at that when you want to add your garment after your cycles begin during the fill and soak. Open the lid, add a garment, and close the lid. It says important, if the lid is left open for more than 10 minutes, the water will pump out automatically. All right, so your machine is smart enough to really know that. So like I said, even though I mentioned it earlier that it's not modern, it's still modern, but it's just a modern way how to design an appliance that looks traditional, right? So that's the best way I can describe it. All right, so let's dive into this a little bit, get some more information into the basket. Right here we can talk about that, sort and preparing your laundry. All right, so we can actually allow the video to roll a little bit so we can get into that. We talked about different cycle settings, temperatures, options. So this is what the machine looks like, man. And if you look right in front of it, you have your agitator, you have a nice size tub, you have your bleach dispenser here, and you also have your lid lock here. So you want to make sure you don't put detergent inside of that. And of course up top here where the hole is, that's where your fabric softener goes. And remember, this is where your model and serial number is located. All right, you always want to make sure you find it out when each appliance where the model number is located. All right, so let that rock for a little bit while we go inside. You see inside the tub there, try to give you guys a full picture and view of the stainless steel tub on the inside. Agitator inside the machine there. We're just gonna let that sit there so that we can dive into the machine. Of course, we talk about this on every laundry or every wash machine that we review. Gotta understand that. Take your stuff out your pockets, coins. That affects your appliance. It can get jammed up inside the machine, cause it to puncture a hole inside the drain. Drain hose, drain pump, I've seen that. it gets stuck, and of course you're going to call for service at that time. You want to make sure you empty out your pockets. All right, sort items by recommended cycle, water temperature, and color fastness. All right, so we talked about that earlier. You do have some helpful tips that you can use, right, when washing machine water, when washing waterproof or water resistance item. Load evenly. It says use mesh garment bags to help avoid tangling when washing delicate or small items. This is one of the things that I always recommend to customers. Get one of those laundry bags, especially if you have little kids, with small clothing, little socks, little underwear, stuff like that, their shirts. The machine is spinning so rapidly and so fast, it get trapped and go into the outer tub, that your clothes sit in. There's normally two tubs. There's an outer tub and an inner tub. It gets trapped in there, travels through the outer tub, and then gets trapped inside the drain. Then of course you'd be calling the service technician to come out, because there's socks always stuck inside of there. So it's socks, it's underwear, all types of shoelaces. And like I said, I'm always finding different things in there. So you just want to be able to read a lot of these helpful tips so that you'll know exactly how to really load the machine. Adding laundry products. All right, so we can dive into that because it's extremely important. It says add a measured amount of detergent or single dose laundry packet into the basket. If using oxy type boosters, color safe bleach, or fabric softener crystals, add to the bottom of the washer basket before adding clothes. One of the issues that I had a customer had a lot of issues with their clothes being burnt because she was using the oxy type boosters. Be careful with that stuff. She was using it regularly with her clothes, and after a while she had to stop. Unfortunately, even when she weren't using it, it was damaging some of her clothes. So sometimes that might just be one of those things that you cannot resolve. You'll probably have to do a lot of wash machine cleaning the inside because of the residue that's left over from using those type of boosts. You just want to be careful because they can damage your clothes. All right. It says if using liquid Clorox bleach is optional, manually add product to wash water. All right. Do not overfill, dilute, or use more than 1 cup of liquid Clorox bleach. Do not use color safe bleach or oxy products in the same cycle with liquid Clorox bleach. Got to be careful with that, because then that's another additive. It's too strong, it's gonna burn. All right, it says follow the manufacturer's instruction, determine the amount of laundry products used. Manufacturers suggest using what? HE detergent. Some of the best, that's the only detergent you can really use. All right, so like I said, it's still modern. All right, load laundry into washer. All right, key component here. This is where a lot of issues come from. A lot of issues stem from here. Loud noises in the wash machine. Clothes is not being cleaned properly because it's being overloaded. It says load garments in loose heap evenly around the basket wall for best results. Do not pack the load tightly. Do not wrap large items such as sheets around the agitator. Load them in loose piles around the side of the basket. It says try mixing different size items to reduce tangling. Important. Do not tightly pack or force items into washer. Items need to move freely for best cleaning and to reduce wrinkling and tangling. Load heavier items in first. Do not load above agitator cap. Do not load clothes above the white inner collar. All right, that's where the inner collar is of the wash machine. So they're giving you an example how to really do it. Right, so that you can do it properly. It can work out for your best interest, and your machine is operating properly. It's not wobbling, it's not moving. It could damage the machine, man. Like I said, the transmissions, the motor, it pulls the wash machine away from the wall, right? And then it could bust your pipes, and if you're not home or you're upstairs, it can leak everywhere. So you want to be super careful how you load your clothes. Load your washer properly so that you can get the best benefit. All right, it says add liquid or Clorox bleach to dispenser. All right, we talked about it. Do not overload, dilute, or use more than 1 cup. Do not use the color safe bleach. We just read that, but this is basically how you add your liquid bleach inside of your wash machine. Do not throw it on the clothes. Do not throw it in the water. Always make sure that you throw it in where it says liquid Clorox bleach. You just want to make sure it's done properly, man. So that's what it's all about. Let's talk about the fabric softener. Fabric softener to dispenser. That's basically what they're calling it, right? All right, so pour a measured amount of liquid fabric softener into dispenser. Always follow manufacturer's directions for correct amount of fabric softener based on your load size. Right? I dilute liquid fabric softener by filling the dispenser with warm water until liquid reaches the undersides of the rim. See max fill line arrows. Alright, so you do have that to be able to help you out. You can add some warm water to it, and you always want to make sure that if you can, normally you can pop the top off of the dispenser, right, for the softener, pull it up, clean it out, because the more time you dump fabric softener in there, I've seen it so many times over the years where it gets gunked up and it's hard, so it's difficult for the dispenser to dispense the fabric softener because it's so thick and it's gunky. So you want to be able to clean that periodically. Alright, select cycles, turn cycle knob to choose your wash. For more information, see cycle guide. Alright, so we did that. We've talked about the water temperature. We talked about these different options that it has as well. Alright, so we're going to let the video rock and video roll and see what else we got to offer in this particular machine. Like I said, it's pretty simple. It's pretty basic, commercial grade Maytag unit. Let me pause that just to find out if there's anything that we can add to this video, because we're just about wrapping it up. You do have some washing machine maintenance tips that you can use, right? Water inlet hoses, you want to make sure you check those out periodically. You do want to replace them every 5 years because they do develop rust. They wear out, they can leak, they can burst. Be careful with that. Washing machine care, right? You can clean the machine with washing machine cleaners periodically every 30 days, right? So every month you should be able to purchase a washing machine cleaner. You can get it from your local store. Anything that says washing machine cleaner, you can actually use that to clean your washing machine. Non-use and vacation care, you can do that as well. You can unplug the machine. You can actually turn off the water supply going to your home to make sure that stuff is off. Winter storage, winterize your machine, you can do that as well. Transportation is a big one, right? If you happen to move and you want to take your machine because you love it so much, go inside the owner's manual to really understand how to transport your machine. That is really key because you want to make sure that you transport it properly and you don't damage anything. All right, cleaning your top-load washing machine, right? It has it here. You can. It says recommended cycle for cleaning the washer. For optimum cleaning, use Clorox bleach, right? So you can actually use bleach for that setting. Every 30 washes, I mentioned that before, or every 30 days. So I would go with a month. Every month is so much easier. That's what you can do there. And it's going to tell you what cycle is best to use. You probably could use just a regular standard top-load wash machine cycle to be able to clean that out, but it'll tell you in the owner's manual. Fabric softener, cleaning outside the washer, stuff like that. They also have reinstalling washer, again, troubleshooting tips. So we're at the end of the video, man. Not much there, but again, this is old school but new. I already know I'm your boy Richie Rich. We're in the lab getting it in. You already know. Peace.
Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we